Financial stress creates invisible grief. It changes the way people think, eat, sleep, speak, and even love. And most people don't realize how deep it goes until they're drowning in it. Hi, everyone. I'm here sitting in my office and I need to talk. I didn't have anything planned. Something happened today, and unfortunately, all of us are in the same boat. Well, um, I have a disconnect notice, light company, tomorrow by 5 p.m. My dilemma is that this is extortion. None of us owe anyone money. These are free resources, yet you get a bill with quote unquote your name in all caps, and here's the amount you have to pay us. Otherwise, boop, by remote button, you lose access. I'm seeing on YouTube that apartment complexes are now charging people who live in apartments I don't know, a key or deposit fee to actually use the key to get inside of their apartment. A monthly subscription to use your own key. You're already paying your rent. For me, I've done my shadow work. I know that it doesn't end with your growth, and believe me, I'm gonna always remain inquisitive. But today I have been fussing about this because I put the lack mentality behind me. Yet today, today, I've been doing a lot of talking to myself. I have cursed today. I've had to, unfortunately, make a couple of phone calls to see if a few other people could help me out because there's a 5 o'clock deadline tomorrow. I go back and forth on the phone to see who might have a piece of this, who might have a piece of that, because I didn't have anything to put towards it, honestly. And I'm just looking at, all right, I had to make a decision today that I was going to do because a strange health issue has appeared. And I don't really know what it is. And so I've been dealing with that. And yesterday I woke up with my top lip swollen, and then my bottom lip began to swell, and all these welts and itching. And these things have been all over my body. I had already experienced that for 2 weeks, and then it went away the previous Sunday, and then the last couple of days it has come back now with the lip swelling. So I bought some Amazon allergy pills to take, and my system is sensitive, so I could only take half of the pill because it has a sleep aid in it, and that has helped to remove the itching, because sometimes just moving around or to get up and walk just from the living room into the kitchen or whatever, it's like, what is going on? And my legs, it's like this itching under the skin, and then boom, new patches of all these welts would come out. And so yesterday, after I took amoxicillin, I was trying to wait it out and see, is my body going to respond to this? Is anything going to get better, improve, or whatever? So I knew that I had this looming deadline of this, threat of termination of the power here. And so today rolls in, and I was going to make a decision on doing my first audio recording for my channel. And my goal is to talk about love. My goal is to help other people that have gone through and are still experiencing depression and negative emotions. I've gone through 11 or 12 of them in my lifetime. I'm over 50 and I was finally able to overcome those things, meaning that I can explain from an eagle's eye view why everything happened. And I know that I can help other people with that. And I am love, and I plan on sharing that with people as well as my wisdom on these different negative emotions that, how they affect you and how you can get beyond it. And then, like I said, this looming deadline of 5 o'clock tomorrow, a disconnect. And like I said, I have cursed today and I have been fussing because I don't owe these people any money. You don't owe these people any money. And we're still being extorted by multiple bills, and now new stuff is here where all the companies want to take back things that you've already paid for. You have to pay for free utilities and elements. You have to pay insurance and for permits, for contracts, for you need a permission slip literally, like to travel, to leave the country. That's what your passport is. Everything is illegal to us to do anything. And then they don't have enough information, they want more. And then you do realize that with each data center, which I had no idea that it was literally hundreds of them globally that have already been set up. Each data center in the specified cities, it absorbs all the water, and the residents get sick. They have low to no water pressure, and it becomes a drought land. The water is needed to cool the servers, the fans, and all of your information, whatever you say, speak, do, how you move, and then the stuff with the new cars, with the new mandates, and all of the car companies, or most of them, have filed patents for there to be cameras, AI, and other methods of the new cars having what they call a kill switch. Not just to turn your car off, but to literally monitor eye movement, your awareness, your heartbeat, every discussion that you have, even if you whisper, hand placement, everything. I can't even compile off the top of my head a complete list of things that where all of this data from your movement, time you would get inside of your own car, whether you're making payments or you've already paid it off, is going to be recorded. And then the companies have given themselves permission as well to take all of that data and sell it to third parties. Well, I thought I heard last year or 2 years ago, whatever quote unquote breach occurred, that everybody's information, your social security number, and everything else was on the dark web. And I'm like, still, they don't have enough information. And that's what the data centers are for. I'm thinking in my head that each server is going to be per person left alive after the grand scheme of, you know, not too many people being left, but the use of the information on us, and then how the AI is going to monitor and dictate credits or points, like that social credit score. Everything is tied together, but it's like they don't have enough. They don't have enough, and they want more. And I got fed up today with the deadline, with the ultimatum. Um, and I'm like, I've overcome this stuff. I don't have lack mentality. I'm not emanating lack or anxiety or, oh, I'm scared that they're going to turn the lights off. I have a child that I am responsible for. And I'm not going to have him, suffering, being um, uncomfortable or thinking or feeling stuff he might not share with me. I'm not going to have that. And so it's like, well, I still have to figure this out more than I want to devote time to doing that. I'm trying to build my business. I just, for the third and last time, I mean the last time, my website. I had put some things out on Instagram. I'm still learning at over 50 how to use Instagram. I've had to call him in here and ask him, where's the button for this? Where's the button for that? And I don't see it. And I didn't even know that I could use it on my computer until he told me, because I'm like, I'm not a phone person. And I thought you had to only use Instagram using your phone. Anyway, um, I put my stuff out there. So today I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I don't want to have this to be my truth all over again. I don't want to lie to myself and say I'm not um, projecting lack or panic or whatever, because that's going to drop me all the way down to being in the red, the root chakra. That's fight or flight. And I'm not having a light company or any other company or situation to put me there. I have gone through my own hells on this earth, and I'm not going back down, not even for myself to cause myself to do that. So I know it's not going to be an outside force to try to get me there. And I'm still questioning myself today to see how, like, where am I? What am I? I don't know. I don't have answers because I feel like, though I'm questioning myself, I don't know that if what I'm going to answer myself with is that my complete truth. Do I really think it's going to get cut off? I mean, I realize that out of all of the times that I have had to, reach out for other people, and I mean plural, to help me with, it's usually always the light bill. It's always the light bill. And for other people to help me, and they have, and I am very grateful for that. Oh my gosh. And it's like, I've overcome things because I didn't know myself, and I realized I still got things done. Bills still got paid, even the other ones that were much smaller. But I'm like, I am my own provider. I dictate my own life, and it's not from circumstances, it's not what numeric value appears electronically through my phone or on a paper statement. The dollar amount doesn't matter because, number one, money isn't real, it is a spell. And that is why when you see bills out of the blue or a bill with large numbers on it, um, you feel a certain way, and it's usually negative. Because surprise, if you went to the emergency room, you're probably going to have two or three bills from there, especially if the ambulance was involved. You're going to have a bill from them, you're going to have a bill from ER, and then you'll probably have a third bill from a specific doctor that can pop their head in to say XYZ to you, and oh, now you have a prescription. So whether you pay any money from insurance to get this medication or something like that. So you're going to have three or four bills. And then, oh, your insurance company nowadays, oh, surprise, surprise, there were changes, there were updates. Now you have to pay more money out of pocket. So everything can literally or figuratively, get your blood pressure up there because you don't have an answer. And that's the whole thing. And that's where I am. I don't have an answer to to trying to pay this. And so what I ended up doing, I was like, I've solved this before when I again didn't have money enough for this, money that is being asked of me to pay. I figured it out, and I ended up renewing and refreshing some posts that I had done when I had my website the second time, and I refreshed those things. I put it on Instagram and I put it here on YouTube. And to my surprise, YouTube, I suppose, is pushing it a little bit, but I'm like, okay, all I would need would be 6 people, you know, to get my cheapest, the digital download, which was on healing teas and herbs, and it was also on energy protection. And those two things are combined in one. And I'm like, I have things for sale on Craigslist, and I need people to be able to get something, one way or another from me. And I was in a car accident last year, so I don't even have my truck. So it's like all these things are going on, and it's like, is this a test period? Is this initiation? I don't know. But this was not how I wanted to begin sharing. I don't know who I may help with, what I'm going through. I just know that, this is true for everybody trying to keep up with, I'll just say it, extortionist quote unquote bills. Because, like I said, we don't owe any of this stuff to anybody, and yet, we're still required to keep up. And then, because when you pay a quote unquote bill, those things, I don't care what they call it, because it can be called an administrative fee or whatever, it all boils down to whatever we do as regular citizens, it's illegal because you have to keep paying for some piece of paper to tell you now you can access this, now you can do this, now you can go here or fly over there or drive here. Here's a checkpoint, da 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 da. And then we have new things because of AI. Like all these companies are just willy nilly supporting AI, and we can't object and say, no, I don't want to go through this. No, I don't want to do these extra verifications because you've already created accounts. And then, like I said, that's not enough. But there's a big picture all the time of the spiritual things, like I said, that are going on. So we've always been in a state of war, but we have not known that. And it's time for us to open our eyes so that we can develop plans to not just survive stuff internally or personally, and then extend it to your family and then people that are your friends. But a coming together really has to happen, because I don't know about you, but I would like some answers. And the part that I can lend may not be revolutionary, but for starters, today, I just wanted to say that's what I have been dealing with is, a strange health issue. And then on top of that, yeah, a giant bill that I have to waste my time, my energy to pay out to someone that I don't even owe it to them. And I'm always going to have a problem with that. And I'm trying not to use profanity, but yeah, I'm always going to have a problem with that. And I do plan on doing more of these, but I want to have it to be where I can get us started with a little bit of meditation, but also dealing with ways to help people to overcome different types of depressions and shadow work that needs to be done, and just like I said, negative emotions in general, because we can't be in the red, which is in the root chakra, which is constantly fight or flight all the time. And plus, we do shallow breathing, which will also keep you in a fight or flight state. And I want to have our awareness raised so that we can literally survive and thrive everything that's being thrown at us. because we've got bioengineered ticks being dropped off to make people be bitten and now become allergic to red meat. There are new STDs out there, and from every single angle. I mean, they've already poisoned the earth, they poisoned the water, they poisoned the air. The animals get injections in specific feed, so you know the food products, not food, but the food products that we keep going to the grocery store to keep buying and stuffing in our bodies because you're told you have to eat and then you have to eat 3 times a day. That's what's getting us sick as well. And so I want to make recommendations to you all on others that do know specifically, what they're talking about in a myriad of topics, and give them a shout out so that you can go and learn some other things for yourselves, and to get us started on some preparation, I guess, to hit all the levels, because we are going to need a spiritual toolkit. We have to have our mind right. We got to get the body healed up. And then you're going to need a tool kit or a list of things to prepare for, yeah, when the power goes. Either they kill the power or nature, the sun, is going to kill the power. So, how are you going to cook? How are you going to make a move? How are you going to protect your family? And then they're trying to outlaw citizens from having guns. I don't have one that I own, but I'm just saying there's just a thin line between supposed order right now, and when chaos really hits, it's going to come down like a terrible blanket upon this land. And we have to have some things thought about and planned out before that happens. We have to increase our odds to survive, and I'm here for solutions. So if anybody wants to stay tuned and we can continue to talk about these things, I'm going to cover various topics, and like I said, refer you to other YouTube channels that haven't been messed with, that are still, airing, so that we can start building our own toolkits to, I don't want us to just survive, I want us to be strong and know what we are really going to do, because we're going to have to think about all worst case scenarios, and time is very, very short, because something major is coming. I'm thinking like in about 2 months, and 2 to 3 months, and my dreams are showing me some things, but not as much as other people. Like I said, I'm going to refer you to some other people who are talking about some of these different areas, but something major is coming that's just going to change how everything is going to be. And in different ways, I'm getting confirmation and visions of these things also. So, at Distinct, here and online, I want to take my audios and also put them on my website. And once I take this recording here, I'm going to put this on Instagram and on my website. So if you don't, like me, I was paying YouTube to not see ads, but now it's $18.99 a month. I'm not doing that. And so I'm forced to look at videos with a whole bunch of ads. So that's why I want to take the audio recording and have it for free, in case you're in the same boat that I'm in. You're not going to be paying $19 to not see ads. Um, and I'll have the recording on, free to be downloaded on my website. And that way you can listen to it while you're doing something else. And I thank you for whoever has tuned in. This is my first one. And again, I I really didn't plan on talking about the freaking light bill, but it's to still open the door on different topics that I want to talk to you all about. And sometimes I am gonna share, okay, this and this happened today, that happened yesterday, and I'm feeling stuck myself, but I just want to be transparent. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them. I'll respond. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you.